What's going on, folks? It is Tuesday, and we are back to recap the falconing that we saw on Sunday. And much to our chagrin, but we got a couple of special guests to help us do so who happen to be on the right side of whatever the hell that was at the end of the game. So let's go. What's going on, Falcons fans? It is episode 64 of Out of Your Falcon Mind. I'm John, your host, as always, joined by my boy and co-host, Mr. Mike Cottrell. What's going on, bud?
Out of my Falcon mind, as usual. You would never hear me this happy after a loss. The only reason I'm happy is because we got my bros on. And you would never see me mingling with the enemy after a loss. Okay? So that's two things. Let me tell you, I'm just excited because we got my bros on again, the Balt Bros, all the way from California. We got them with us. And I'm excited because of my man, Johnny Yates, winning hot. Okay? And now, y'all like to think I'm just the only one out of my Falcon mind when John just proved that he's out of his Falcon mind as well. So I'm happy to be here, man. I'm excited. Let's go.
That's right, man. Yeah, man. We got James and Andrew from the Bolt Bros podcast, who we went on with last week to preview the show. And this is the first time, guys, for us that we've actually had a recap with the opposing team. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, works out. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're the same way too. We generally don't chat with the enemy after a win or a loss, and it's we're doing it for the first time with you guys, so we're excited about it, man. And I mean, that game was something else. I mean,
it was
falconing was falconing, charging was charging, and it was. I was thinking about when I chatted with you guys. I was like, we're very, very similar in like teams. And game showed how similar our luck is. For both of our teams. Yeah. I mean, it was literally, you want to know what the Falcons are? You want to know what the Chargers are? This is what it is. Do you want to accept this pain or do you not want to accept this pain? Because it was just exact snapshot of both of our teams. It was crazy.
I mean, yeah, the group chat we had going on, guys, the five of us had a chat during the game. And if an outsider just wanted to look at it, you'd have no idea who's the Chargers and who is the Falcons, because we were both bitching about the same stuff the entire game. I mean, it was hilarious.
I'm over there having a heart attack the entire time.
We fucked around the whole game. We talked the amount of shit that was getting talked in that group chat was epic, man. It was fucking hilarious.
It was hilarious. Yeah. I mean, it was what was funny too is so my kid had a game at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. So if he did well, like, we would have to stay till 4 p.m. for the championship game. Well, they won both their games, but what was kind of cool was we had that big break. So I got to see pretty much all the first half and most of the third quarter. And then, I was already committed at that point. So I just started like looking at the score app and was just keeping up with what was going on. And then another parent was watching it on his phone. And right when the crazy fumble shit, which we'll get to later, happened. And we just both sat there in silence, like, what? I mean, he just like a ghost stripped him. I don't know what happened there, but I mean, like it was crazy, but it was cool though. Like I said, it was awesome getting to chat during the game because that was fun. And like you said, James, I mean, it's crazy the similarities between the franchises, man. It really is.
It's incredible. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying before that game. I was like, man, I expect to have some weird things happen that just don't seem. What happens to other teams, the Chiefs, or let's say the Bills, or let's say these teams that find ways to be able to win games. And that was just like, whoever's going to have that small stroke of luck is going to find a way to win it. And that pretty much just happened in that game. And it was weird. I mean, the ghost strip was something else. I've never seen that in my life. Yeah. Like, dude was just running, nobody touching him. I think he got scared of Justin Herbert about to sack him.
Yeah, he was about to. Ribs and all.
You got the 6'7" quarterback coming at me, 245. Wow. What's going on here, man?
Oh, hell no. That's my rock. It's coming to me.
So, let me start here. I just want to start here. I want you guys, if you guys didn't see the Balt Bros preview show we did, I would encourage you. I know the game is done. I'm just saying that because it was a good fucking show. It was an epic show. We don't normally do that before show. We don't normally do this after show. I just want to say this. That speaks of the Bolt Bros. Okay, that's why we doing this, because we had such a good time the last time. We wanted to do it again. So I'd encourage, even though the game is over, go look at that. I'm telling you, it was an epic show. These dudes are awesome. This show will be epic. I already can smell it. And again, John went on a rant. So this is heaven for me right now. I'm excited. Okay. I'm excited. So
man,
it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a great show.
It will.
It was a great game, despite we lost. A good fucking game.
Yeah, it was.
I said in the group chat, I peed a little bit several times, and it was the accumulation at the end I was ashamed of. It wasn't every little bit of pee, but the accumulation of pee really made it look bad at the end. So I was excited, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and before we really get into it, guys, first of all, thanks for checking us out here on YouTube. If you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe. That like helps us just get out there to more Falcons fans, helps more Falcons fans find us, and it tells YouTube that we're actually doing a decent job of it, and that we'll get pushed out there a little bit more. And we did, Mike, somebody left us another 5-star review on iTunes. Awesome. Don't know who it was. They just left a 5-star, but that's awesome. We appreciate it. I think we're up to like 29 of those now, which is great. Okay. So yeah, just keep on bringing that in. And then again, for the I'll get to you. Any guys that are commenting right now, I want to get to you guys in a little while. We're going to just talk about some stuff and get it going. Some just off the wall, like NFL news. I'm sure y'all saw the Colts fired Frank Wright. And
it was crazy.
Made Jeff Saturday the coach, who has zero coaching experience.
He was coaching high school, wasn't he? Something like high school. Like what the hell is that?
High school, yeah. Just it seems like just a ploy to make the fans be happy because it's Jeff Saturday and it's a legend.
That's all it is.
So because I mean, you bench Ryan and you get worse, and then not that he would have been any better because he was having a terrible season, but I mean, that was he was coaching for his job for sure. And then
Kim Kardashian is getting people out of jail, and Jeff Saturday is the head coach. You've seen it all, buddy.
Yeah, man. Can't make that shit up.
Dropped today quite a bit as well too. Bitcoin's dropping. Everything's going.
We don't know what's going on, man.
No, man. And then of course the Saints lost last night, which when the Saints lose, an angel does get their wings. So I mean, like that was fun to watch. It's at home is always fun to watch them lose at home, because but the Ravens did their thing, so that was fun to watch. But and so the game, we'll just get right into it. Like I said, I was at the ballpark. I was already stressed enough because my kid was about to pitch this start the championship game, and I'm when he pitches, like I don't even sit. I have to walk around, like I'm just nervous the entire time. I can't handle it. So I was already stressed, and I got this shit going on here. I'm reading and watching. I'm like, I can't do this, man. I can't. This is the second week in a row. Like the Panthers damn near killed me. So like this one is like, we can't do this 2 weeks in a row. And but just it happened. And it happened. On the wrong side of it this time. But I mean, looking at how the game started, I mean, you would just what a tale of different quarters, man. I mean, the first quarter, you guys barely had 2 possessions. And that was a 3 and out. And I mean, we were running the ball great, and had no issues going down the field. We got stopped on that on the second drive, had to kick a field goal. But like this methodical drive, running the ball great, short intermediate passing was working. So everything was good. And then it all kind of changed in the second quarter.
Understatement.
One of the things that James will know, and so will Kyle, you guys got one of the guys I wanted so bad from the draft, Tyler Algier from BYU. That guy is an absolute stud. You guys, I'll tell you right now, James, didn't I say this? Our third pick should have been Tyler Algier. And I knew that guy would be absolutely amazing. So to see him on the other side of the ball and see that one run that he did up the, 45 yards, something like that, I was like, oh, my God. Oh, this is going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. So Falcon fans, you guys have a lot to be thankful for. That guy is absolutely a stud. And he's a true running back, too. That's the interesting thing about him. He's a converted linebacker, but he's got great moves. Good, just body placement. The way he moves his body, man. I got nothing but great things to say about him. So that your future is very bright with him on your team. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, man. It's
John knew. John knew.
I was in the same boat, dude.
Did you really?
He called it in the summer.
Oh, really?
When we did our draft, we did a lot of preseason draft. Well, but pre-draft special. So we went through different position groups and just kind of broke down, who we wanted and stuff like that. And the running backs, I mean, it depended on where we drafted. If we drafted, fourth or after, I was like, yeah, Tyler's got to be our guy. Like that's because just watching the film. I mean, he's just what Arthur Smith likes in a running back. He's a big guy. He's not afraid of pass protection. He runs angry. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He was a walk-on at BYU. He had everything he's had to earn. So like that's Arthur Smith's type of guy, like through and through. So that's when we did our draft predictions, that was the only game that I predicted correctly. Or sorry, the only pick that I got right. But I mean, I was happy as hell that we got him. Yeah, I was happy as hell that we got him because I mean, it was just. Watching this film, he catches ball in the backfield really well. And then Arthur Smith's comments, they asked him about him because that was like a career day for him, obviously. I mean, it was, I think, 9 carries for 99 yards.
Yards.
Yeah. And
44 yards. That was a big one. Yeah, I am peanut butter and jealous that he's on your team, guys. I'm not joking. I am not joking.
Yeah, I mean, to have him.
I have a dude who's on your team that I'll bring up later that I feel the same way about, buddy. I'll hold it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, but to have him and CP and and Huntley back there, that's a big 3-headed monster back in the backfield.
That is.
So, but it was great having CP back. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Arthur was just saying, he was really impressed with this. He doesn't normally see the progression that out of a running back in his first year that he's seen from Tyler, especially in pass protection, because he picks up, he sees the blitzes, he picks up the rusher. He's not afraid to get his head in there. So, I mean, like all that stuff's great for us. I mean, it's, going forward, I mean, it's going to be, like I said, I think you're right, Andrew. I think he's going to be a stud for sure. Yeah. And then looking at the second quarter though, man, y'all started out 3 and out from, from the first quarter, and then we got it back. And then the deep throw to Pitts was way overthrown. He didn't have a chance at that one. I think Mike started, I think that's when you sent us a chat. What was it, buddy? You said that it was kind of like it's more cute than it is.
More than it is effective. It's like a kid shooting like a 3-point. It's adorable that you shot it up, but it's just cute. Yeah.
But it didn't go the right way.
Yeah.
And just some of the right, and just some of the plays that happened in that quarter, man. Tranquil came through and absolutely murdered Hennessy on the way through to sack Marcus. And you guys call on, if y'all watch the preview show, when we asked Kyle and James, what's one player that's maybe not getting a lot of pub that we have to watch out for, unanimously they said Tranquil. And that dude, he's legit. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, later in the game, he got cuckooed though.
He did get crushed.
He got NyQuil.
Yeah,
he got NyQuil later in that game, and I was happy because he was terrorizing us. It was really right.
Yeah, it was nuts. But then and then our defense kind of starts showing up. We do have the 32nd ranked pass defense in the league. Sure. So, and we have to caution it with, we're missing AJ Terrell, like we talked about the preview show. We're missing Casey Hayward. So, but on the flip side, you guys have every single backup wide receiver in there. So, I mean, it was, but what's frustrating for us as Falcons fans is like 3rd and 15. Yeah, no problem. Boom. And, 1st and 25 series. 3 short passes, first down. And it's the defending pass beyond the first down sticks that drives us crazy. And I know it's part of the whole cover 2. You don't want to get beat deep type of thing. But if you don't, like we talked about, if you don't get pressure on the quarterback with your 4 guys, you're screwed. I mean, and that's, and we did 100%. Pressure him decently. But we didn't get him on the ground, and we forced a few bad throws or whatever. But I mean, like it wasn't enough to really stop him or slow him down. But Eckler ended up scoring on that drive, the next drive. And then Marcus was sacked again. Eckler had a TD catch going into that quarter. And then we didn't have a first down in the entire second quarter for us. So it was rough.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to go back on the second quarter, we're actually
one of the things I'll say about
I think Andy's in front. Oh, he's got a little delay. But second quarter, we are the highest scoring second quarter team in the league. So for some reason, we're the worst in the first quarter, and then we're the best in the second quarter for some reason. And for whatever reason, we just cannot figure out how to start a game. This is the 4th game in a row that we've started in a deficit. So
Yeah.
I think 10, 14, 17, and 10 points in the last 4 games where we just dig ourselves a hole and we don't offensively look good at all. So then we turn it on in the second quarter, and it's weird because I know in the chat thread through the whole text messaging and everything, we're like, yeah, man, like I think it was you, Mike, you were chatting. I understand why you guys are mad at Lombardi for the play calling, because it just seemed like, what are we doing here? Like, why don't we try to throw the ball downfield a little bit more? Why don't we try to get a little bit more aggressive? And eventually we started doing that. And we as Charger fans started saying, hey, I think Herbert looks healthy now.
That's
and he was able to get those third downs, those long third downs, and make some passes downfield. And it was like, I think we got something going on here with our B squad basically right now for our wide receivers. And I don't know, it was just an interesting observation to see how this game kind of developed. Now, obviously we're talking about the first half. We'll talk about the second half here. I think Andy's got some comments here who wants to jump in too.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Herbert's really hard to get on the ground. That's one of the things that he's extremely underrated. He makes his offensive linemen look very good. What was that statistic you sent over today, James, about our rookie, Zion Johnson? He's only got one what was it? Anyways,
one sack all year on 391 pass blocking snaps. So it's our right guard. And that's our rookie right guard.
I love that guy. I love that guy in the pre. Yeah,
insane.
Yeah,
and we did not expect us to go on a right guard, by the way. First round picks were like, let's go with that big guy. What was the guy from Georgia? The big old
Jordan Davis.
You want Jordan Davis? Yeah.
We were like, we'd love to have that big old dude in the middle.
Him, He's a man crush on him.
But that one came out of nowhere, and it's worked out well for us, man.
Yep.
So, I was at the start of it. I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I thought you guys may be a bit jaded. I felt like, okay, if he is hurt, I can get the little dinking that I didn't get. But then I felt like, man, bro, this is not going to work if you like for success. It would be like if you playing with a lead. But you can't do that when you're trying Then I saw when he opened up, I said, that's when I sent you the text saying, now I see what you guys talking about. As soon as he opened up the playbook, you see what happened? And he didn't look injured at all when he opened up the playbook. He looked like he was just fine. And I said, them damn Balt Bros tricked me, man. They said this man still had a rib injury. They said he was struggling and he couldn't throw downfield. And they lied to my goddamn face. He looked amazing.
We even lied about, number 99. We're like, yo, if you see number 99 on the field, speed bump. Oh, wait, he's not playing today. Oh, okay.
Look, I told John, I said, I don't see him. I'm trying to find him. John texted like he's not even on the field. I said, them damn bros.
Yeah, I know. I was.
But they got us, John. They sent us the false information so I could send the coach the false information. Yeah.
Totally, totally screwed us on that one, and but his arm looked just fine. No issues with it. But then the third quarter, man, started with a huge drop by Everett. I don't know what he was looking at. It hit him right in the damn hands across the middle, and that was rough. That was tough. And then on that same possession, Troy Anderson got in there and batted down a ball. He only played 13 snaps in that game, and I think. Pretty soon, you're going to have to get him in there more just because of the playmaking ability. I know he's young, but we're not affecting the quarterback at all, and he's pretty good at rushing the quarterback. So whatever, I wouldn't be surprised to see him just getting more snaps, just to do that. But then when we got the ball back, Mariota rolled to the right, made a hell of a throw to Bird, didn't catch it. In his hands, probably should have caught it. And then he threw behind Oz, and he made a great catch, having to contort his entire body behind him to make the catch across the middle. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that was a good catch.
And then a major could have been a turning point for us, man. CP goes on a 38-yard run, gets called back for 2 penalties. The hold was actually ended up being, I think it was Hennessy, and then McGarry's dumbass tripping whoever he was guarding. Didn't even need to. I mean, CP was already 30 yards down the field. Like this big ass dude is not catching CP, man. Like, you ain't got to trip him. Like, he was. And so anyway, it was 2 penalties, called it back. And that was important because, man, the next few plays later, Khalil Mack introduces himself to Drake, takes the ball away from him and takes off 46 yards. So, I mean, that could have been a score that we were for sure would have got 3, you would hope, out of that drive, if not, get it in the end zone.
And,
so that was
here's my whole point about CP, y'all. The boy was electricity. He really had 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
He really in his first game back, he really had 3 touchdowns. Electricity. Well, I love Tyler. I'm a fan now. Nobody's like the electricity brought 3 when you first game back, 3 touchdowns. He was unstoppable, and he inflicts the blow. The same as Tyler, it's just a little bit different. He inflicts the blow. You cannot underrate Cordero. Like the dude is amazing. No. First game back, he got me a lot of fantasy points. I love the dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, they even said, I mean, like on the broadcast, they said, Brandon Staley was with him in his junior college days, and he said he'd never seen anybody better with him with the ball in their hands.
Yep.
So
what's amazing about Brandon Staley is that he's so young in the NFL, but he has so much knowledge of players.
Yeah,
and the guy goes back deep to players back then and says, like, I coached that guy back then, and he still remembers him in his skill set of what he does. I mean, he has a great mind for football. Now, it's just hopefully it kind of comes together for the field, And the thing is, though, it's been doing okay for us. Like I've been saying, our team is floundering through the season right now. We're just trying to figure ourselves out, and we're kind of just finding more or less we're not going to blow out a team, but we're just going to play hard football to try to just get our way.
So many injuries, man.
Oh, dude, it's insane. I actually just shot a video, which on our Bolt Bros channel, about that, and actually Fox News put out a whole report. It's called it's a bus ranking, and I think it's like something to do with like, I don't know, injured players. I can't remember the exact acronym of what it means, but basically, it's a banged up score. So it's meaning as in quantifies how injuries affect the overall team position and player performance on a scale of 0 to 100. We're dead last in the NFL at 50.7%. So
damn,
we're just beat up. And we're beat up, but the thing about it is like coaching is keeping us in this game, ironically, because we keep saying, hey, Brandon Staley ain't doing his job. We think Lombardi's not doing his job. But then again, we're 5-3 and 4-1 the last 5. So, I mean, it's weird. Like I got my shirt on today. It's let's go Brandon Staley over here. And it's a little bit of a shot on voting because it's voting day, but that's also like, hey, let's talk about let's go Brandon Staley, and it's a shirt that we made here for Bolt Bros. But we got to give props to him what he could do as a coach, and I'm excited to see where he leads this team, and he's leading this team right now with a B team right now and making it work, and so it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, I think if Mike Williams and Keenan are both healthy, that's a lot different score.
Big difference. Oh yeah, they've only had 13 snaps together all season, so
which is wild. Yeah,
insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after that long, go ahead, Andrew.
No, I was just going to say one last thought just about Brandon Staley. I know we've been criticized because we've been very critical of Brandon Staley specifically. I've been more critical of our offensive play calling with Lombardi because he's been very vanilla. But Brandon Staley is such a leader. If you see the way he presents himself to his team, he always goes into the team. Let's say they go into the game. Again, I promise you against the Falcons, they say, okay, offensively and defensively, this is the game plan on both sides of the ball. So both sides of the ball know exactly what we're going to do against the other team. So you're not keeping anything, in the dark. Everyone knows exactly what the game plan is on both sides of the ball. So he communicates very well and very concretely. And you're right, James. He's a smart man. The guy understands players, and he knows how to get the most out of all of his players. And so in that regard, you have to really give him high marks. So Brandon Staley's been fantastic. I've been very hypercritical of just the play calling. Let Justin Herbert be Justin Herbert. And I think we keep holding him back. And that's my frustration. That's my biggest frustration.
Yeah, well, I will say this about you guys play calling. Something I noticed that was hilarious, but also I thought was kind of dope. Every one of your plays, I feel like come with a trap door. All right. So no matter what the play is, this annoying little dude, bandy handy, is trapped. He's the safety net. If you was ever a single man on Friday night, you got that one ugly girl that'll do anything. She's coming if you call her, but she's the last resort. But you know that you could call Tanya. Tanya coming, right? But she not the cutest. Her feet stink sometimes. Like Tanya's Tanya, but Tanya's a safety net, and Tanya ensures you having a good time on Friday night. Now you want Summer Rae, right? But you can get Tanya. So what I'm saying is this dude, I feel like every play, his job was to be around.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case. And it saved you so many plays. It saved you so many plays where we was getting kind of good pressure. And just right there. So that dude, that's genius for like an injured quarterback. Have him somewhere in like the vicinity just in case I need you. And he's really awesome. He really served a great purpose on Sunday, man.
We're gonna rename him as Tanya, by the way.
Yeah, see, there you go.
You know, I'm gonna get a jersey 83 and it says Tanya on the back.
See, there you go.
What the hell is wrong with this?
He was frustrating me, man. But I thought the play calling just to have him around when you got an injured quarterback, you don't really want him running, and you don't want him to take a hit. So before you got to run or before you got to take a hit, just handy bandy, just give it to him and let him do it. And it was annoying, buddy. But I thought it was genius.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to the stats in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, 16 first downs through the air.
Yeah,
that's something. That's something, man.
Yeah, and yeah, it was. And but after that play that Mac returned, the very first play, man, goes right off Palmer's hands, right into Richie Grant's hands.
Oh, yeah.
So we were like, shit, all right, cool. So we get it back, you know. And then on that drive, whether it was Arthur or Marcus or both of them together, both realized they had a package, or the Chargers had a package on the field that they liked. So they kept running hurry up, so they couldn't get them off the field. Yep. And so they just kept running down their throats, and we ended up, and that was the drive that CP put Tranquil to sleep there on the goal line. And just you know.
Now hold on for John. I do have to ask the bros one thing. You guys were critical of like Drew just said. James and Kyle agreed that you were critical of the play calling. You were critical of Lombardi. I'm not saying that you should have a drastically different. Did it turn slightly on Sunday? Slightly,
I would agree. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I think the bye week was good for them because I'll give you a perfect example. John, you referenced the 2 3 and outs we had at the beginning of the game. Yeah. Even though we had those 3 and outs, I felt like those plays were good. Like the first play was Bandy was in motion. He went to the side. He was on the sidelines. Even if he caught the ball, he was going to go out.
Yeah.
But what I noticed, especially against the Seahawks, is they were stacking the box. And so with those motion plays, you're moving people to the edges. So then you have to spread out. So you have to you can't stack the box. Mm-hmm. So they did a very good job of making the defense go, well, we can't do what we thought we were going to do.
Yeah.
So they affected the way that really the Falcons could play moving forward. And they took what they could get, and they did enough with it. And so it was definitely good to see some suggestions get potentially changed. So, yes, I was very happy with him towards the end of the game. I think he did a lot better, 100% better. So, James, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, actually, Brandon Staley talked about that, I think, in the post game, that in the bye week, which we all kind of hoped that the bye week was going to be readjustments in some level. And that's what a bye week should be. Reset, find what's working, find what's not working. And basically what he said is we simplified things for Justin Herbert to do the things that he wants to do. Yeah. And we also adjusted play calling based upon his injury too and what works. So I think either I was texting in your guys' messages or our chat thread, or it was after the game or whatnot. But I was like, did you guys notice a lot of like sidearm Justin Herbert throws?
Yeah, that was weird. I thought that was really strange.
Yeah, really different. And maybe they just adjusted to say, hey, look, if you don't feel pain doing that, go with it. And some of those were good rips too. So they adjusted properly, which I think as Charger fans and for Lombardi, I think he appreciated that, we're not jumping all over him again, because, winning solves everything generally.
Oh, yeah.
And
yes.
We, with the bye week or the game before the bye week, we got destroyed by the Seahawks.
Ooh.
And we were like, oh, the world's on fire. Get rid of everybody. This is the time to fire everybody. But they did a good job of, once again, going back to coaching. I think they really coached up this team to be able to do the right things coming into after the bye. And it showed. It really seems different. And I don't think a lot of people now are really jumping on the coaching now. Now they seem, okay, cool. We're back to winning again, guys. Like,
right.
We made adjustments. So, yeah, there is some shifting and there has been some change, which is good to see. Now we get to play the Niners this weekend, so we'll see how that goes.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Y'all
Yeah,
be
well-
back on his ass on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Sunday afternoon or a
Yeah,
Sunday
Sunday
evening,
afternoon.
say.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be all over.
You're still
him.
going to die, Lombardi.
Right, right.
I mean, the good thing is for you guys is that, like James said, you've won 4 of the last 5 or whatever. So
Yeah.
even though the struggle has been there, he's able to learn and still getting wins out of those
Yeah.
struggles. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's at least he can learn, not lose at the same time.
Mhm.
But yeah, man. Then the get it to the fourth quarter, which was when all hell broke loose for
Yeah.
the second week in a row for us. So and just the little quick notes I wrote down about it, man. The good part of Marcus is obviously well, not the deep throw, we'll get to that, but his legs. So I mean, that throw that he made to Tyler, man, he was in all kinds of problems. Scrambled, dumped it off to Tyler, he took off for 24 yards. And then he took a deep shot to Pitts, and it happened right before Koo missed a 50-yarder, but that was fingertips, man. Like, I went back to see if Pitts alligator armed it a little bit. He didn't. I mean, he was fully extended out. I mean, could he have dove? Maybe. I don't know. But it was, it was just out of reach. And then, like I said, that set up Koo for the 50-yarder, who's normally pretty damn reliable, but missed that one, which ended up hurting as well. And then we had the Austin Eckler elbow play, which was interesting.
Yeah, that was crazy. Oh my God.
That
I
might
didn't
have been
understand, man. If it wasn't for Dean Blandino, sometimes I don't get the rules. So we need Dean. God bless Dean.
man.
And sometimes, man, I told you in the chat, I don't know. I'm out of this conversation. Now I won't even speculate. I have no idea what the rule is. No idea how you rule this. No idea. Forearm, same time. I have no idea because they'll do a nail, a pinky toe. You never know what they're gonna do.
No doubt.
God bless Dean Blandino for being on staff to explain that to us, because I had no idea what that was.
And if that didn't get called back and he got that touchdown, that would have probably been one of the best Chargers touchdowns in the history of Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just the awareness to be able to just roll off somebody's body and keep running. I mean, that shows the strength of who Austin Eckler is. If you've ever seen any of his videos of his workout routine, and I mean, the dude can lift, and he's power lifting, and he's just a beast in the gym, man. And I mean, he's probably 5'9", 5'10", maybe.
Yeah, he's a
And
little guy.
the guy is just strong, pound for pound, one of the strongest dudes on the team. And that was a wild play, man. And I saw that. I jumped out of my couch and I was like, yo, did I just see what I saw? And that's a touchdown. No. Then the elbow, man. Come on, man. But that was wild.
Yeah, I did. My kid.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. I just started like the little gifts. I just sent the whole chat like elbow gifts. I just put in elbow and just sending shit elbow.
Yeah, it's funny too. My kid has Eckler on his fantasy team.
Yeah,
loving him.
And so, of course, he didn't see it, because he was playing or whatever. So we were watching it together, and he saw that play, and he was like, "Yes, no, I mean, no." like he was. I was the same way. I mean, I had DeAndre Carter, right? So I mean, I had to pick him up last minute, and he got me a few points. It wasn't good enough because I lost to Mike by 1 point.
1 point.
And DeAndre Carter
who had made the field goal
to that game.
He would have.
Koo could have made the field goal. Isaiah Likely last night. Isaiah Likely literally needed 1 catch, and that would have been it. One more catch.
So frustrating.
And in the fourth quarter, man, it was in his hands. He caught a little screen pass, and it was right to him, and he dropped it. I texted Mike. I was like, I hate fucking fantasy. I do this every year. Like, I never playing again. And then
this shit happens to me every year, and I swear off playing, but then I play again.
Yeah. I'll do it again.
100%.
But So, and then now again, here's what's been this next sequence of events is what's been dominating Falcons Twitter for the last 3 days. So we had 5:29 left in the game. So I'm thinking as I'm rewatching this, I'm like, man, this is perfectly set up for us because we ran the ball great the entire game. We should be able to, if everything goes right, keep pounding the rock, get down the field, eat up some clock, at the least get a field goal, and don't leave a whole lot of time for you guys on the clock. So we ran the ball on first down, 2nd and 8, to get to 2nd and 8, and then we throw the deep ball to Pitts, which it was there. I mean, he was open. So there's been a huge argument about whether it's Marcus's fault or whether, Pitts ran the wrong, he started drifting instead of going straight up the hash. He started drifting toward the numbers. I don't really care either way. They both, I mean, like have a little bit of it in there. I mean, like there was a miscommunication of some.
It was
point.
both.
Like, yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, like they could both handle it for that, but I mean, taking the shot there, I kind of get, but also I kind of don't because again, you're moving the ball just fine, like to the clip of like 5+ yards at carry.
Yep.
You know, so like why even go away from it? And when you got 5 minutes, you got plenty of time. So there's no reason to just take, you know, then you've got 3rd and long, which I mean, we're not great on 3rd and long. We're just not. And then he completely misses London. Doesn't even give it he doesn't have a chance to even catch that ball. So 3 and out. I mean, just wasn't acceptable. So we punted away. And then you guys get it back. And then of course Eckler fumbles it. TQ picks up the ball, runs with it. So there's also been an argument whether or not like, hey, should he just fell on the ball like a normal defensive lineman or like, and I don't really, no, he's trying to make a play. I mean, I know he's 350 pounds, but the dude sees the ball there. He's going to try to make a play and get down the field as long as he can. Now he could have ran out of bounds. That's possible. But I mean, you know, like listen to the coaches talk about Arthur was like, man, of course, you know, it's just unfortunate he's not trying to fumble the ball there. Obviously, you know, it's a weird shaped ball. You know, it just hits the wrong way. He's not a running back. He's not used to having the ball in his hands. You know, and it's, you know, people were saying he should be benched. He should be cut.
Oh man,
I'm like,
come on now.
What the hell are you guys? He's a defensive tackle. This is not what he does. I mean, like, come on, give me a break.
Well, I think for most defensive linemen or even an offensive lineman, if they're able to grab a ball and they have a chance to get a touchdown or something, that's like a dream for them.
Of course,
they want to move it.
They want to do that, and it was so wild. Like it was a ghost fumble. There was some dude, you know, number 00 that jumped out and bapped that ball out of that dude's hand, and there it is. You know, we call it. I've been hearing people call it the double fumble or a double bobble or something like that or something weird like that. And it was just a random play because obviously if you guys got that ball and kept that ball, you guys are in field goal position to win that game. It was done
100%.
100%. And whatever it was, I mean, that's what I said. I think Justin Herbert just scared him. He's like, yo, I got this 245-pound quarterback ready to hit this 350-pound
long hair.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. But that was such a
man. I think he thought it was a pretty girl and got nervous.
That's Tanya.
He thought it was a pretty girl with long blonde hair coming, and he got nervous. And you know, good-looking guy. He saw that good-looking guy coming, and he got nervous, man. And
like, oh no, what do I do?
Yeah, he didn't know what to say. But I just want to say this because I promised I would do this. Arthur Smith, I gotta get you, dog. I have not been critical of you yet. I've been on your side 100% of the time, and I've said that you got to give the coach the time to learn too. Just like players, they make mistakes, they learn from week to week too. But I say that to be positive. I don't know if I all the way mean that because I have very little patience if the teacher's stupid. Okay, the student I get it. If the teacher don't know what they talking about, now I have little patience for this. The same way I have if a pastor say something and then he don't live by it. I'm way harder on you because you the pastor. Okay, I'm not as hard on the congregation as I am on the pastor. So here's what I'm saying, man. It like I think John said it best. Dog, to get into your strength and you know what you do well, and to get away from that when you should be doing it the most is I have no understanding of what you thinking sometimes. And like Ski said, which I love you, Ski, it's all what it is I've said this 100 times on the show. I mean, I think that you think that I'm thinking that you think that I'm thinking that you think that I'm thinking that you think, and then you do something idiotic. Man, I'm just like, man, don't put it just, man, when something works, there's no need to deviate from it. Is all I'm saying. When something is working, like John said, 5 yards a clip, and don't get fancy, especially when you got plain white toast at quarterback. Like, what made you think, like, oh man, I could put it in his hands? When have you put it in his hands and it went well? When name one occasion this season where you put it all on him and it turned out perfectly. So now I'm questioning your fucking logic. You lost us that game. Now you lost us that game. Okay, I give all props to the Bros and the Chargers, but you pissed me off because you lost us the game with your negligence. You got too fancy. That's some Kyle Shanahan shit. It's some Pete Carroll shit. You overthinking a simple situation. Man, this is humans' problem. You overthink very simple situations. And that was as simple as it get, man. There's no need. If you drive a car every day, if you drive to work every day and you never crash your car, to think one day I'm gonna drive with my fucking feet. That seems like something to do. I do it with my hands all the time and I don't crash. And then you be paraplegic.
Yeah.
All right, because you just got fancy. It's no need to get fancy, bro. Just run the ball. You got Cordell Patterson and Tyler Algier. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is what the same way when you got Marshawn Lynch. Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah, why you don't understand? You got Marshawn Lynch. This man, y'all can't understand. Dog, I'm questioning. Number one, I was on you because you keep playing Marcus instead of Ritter, which no one understands. Yeah. All right. But then if we winning, okay, fine. But then to put it on him, you know that man can't throw. You never trusted him to throw all season. Every time the game was on the line, we was losing. You kept running because you knew he couldn't throw. Now, when we got a chance to win, you won't run. Now we up and you run it. Now explain your logic. Now, how does that when you should be passing, you won't, you run. And when you should be running, you pass. Now I'm starting to question your common sense. I'm not smarter than you. I admit, I don't know football like you do. I could not be a head coach. But, buddy, I got more common sense. Sometimes the simplest answer is the best answer. Yep. And it don't take an expert or somebody that was a head coach to see that red is red and blue is blue, and you know what the fuck you should do. Okay? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Well Arthur, I love you to death, buddy, but you're already pissing me off. I'm still in support of you. I'm telling you, that shit you did on Sunday was inexcusable. You did this a few times last season. You've done it twice this season yet. Now I'm questioning you. The coach shouldn't be losing the game. The coach shouldn't be losing us the game. I expect more out of you, buddy. That's it.
Yeah, and if you're going to pass it, I mean, how about the short and intermediate ones? Because that's where he's actually good with.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like he's 1 for 8 this year on deep balls over 40 yards. So I mean,
Enough said.
So why are you doing that?
You don't want to go that way. Yeah. Why do it? It goes back to what we talked about earlier about Joe Lombardi. I think you're right, James. Right. I really do believe that during the bye they sat down and said, "Okay, what do we need to do differently to make you feel more comfortable?" Because obviously Herbert was a little bit uncomfortable, but I think that's really what you're getting at, Mike. Is that's really what should happen coaching wise, right? Sit down with Marcus Mariota. Let's pick up a game plan and make that game plan work for you. Yep. And that's one thing that Bill Belichick is very good at. I mean, as much as I hate him, he's very good at getting the most out of his players. Mm-hmm. And that's coaching. That's 100% coaching. So, and again, that's a really good point though, James, that I do think that's really a big part of what happened during the bye as well too. And I think that's, to your point, Mike, that's exactly what should be happening, with your entire team right now. So
John just said it, like, if you pull stats just as a coach, you can see what he's good at and what he's horrific.
Right.
So if the game is on the line, you don't do what he's horrific at, bro. That's just again, I'm not a coach. I could not be a coach. I'm not saying I'm smarter. I'm saying that's common sense, and you don't have to be a coach to. If I see somebody giving their kids coffee and it's an infant, I don't need to be a parent to know you're wrong for doing this. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. I don't need to be a coach or a football guru or any. I'm not saying I'm any of that. I'm just saying I do know what common sense is, and you're not using yours, good sir.
Yeah, I mean, and not to pile on. I mean, but he's
he lost us the fucking game.
Well, no, not Arthur, but just sort of in a way.
Yeah.
But I mean, Marcus is also.
I have not been. I've been in support. I've never said so. This is the first time. I'm letting it go. Right. No.
So yeah, and also on passes that travel 20 or more yards in the air, he's 6 for 30.
It's bad. It's bad.
What the hell?
That's not his wheelhouse.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like Mike said. I mean, and they asked Arthur in the post game press conference, and he said, well, they were going to eventually load up and try to stop the run. So I'm like, well, dude, but make them prove it first. I mean, you had 2nd and 8. Even if you get 3 or 4, you're at 3rd and short at that point, which is a lot more manageable for us because than the 3rd and long. It's just it just is. So yeah, I mean, like Mike said, I mean, he had a couple of kind of like head scratchers last year. It was his first year as a head coach. We were like, what the hell? Then this year, the Saints game, we were like, dude, I thought you learned something, because the Saints game was the same thing. We had it won, and all of a sudden, like, boom, it's gone. So so that was the stuff like this. Like, I think Arthur's a great coach. I think he's going to do really good stuff for us. But those little things like that, like we can't be doing that in games that we're right in. And, you know, it's just, it's like Mike said, it's just sometimes the simple thing is just the easiest way to go about it.
Yep.
But yeah, and looking at basically the biggest costly mistakes for us, obviously, Koo missing the field goal, that fumble by TQ, and this missing open receivers.
Yep.
I mean, that was the biggest. I mean,
John, I have a question, buddy.
Yeah, but
I know. So if y'all heard me speak of the rant, John, he went on before the show. I just want to say this. A whole lot of time I rant, and when I rant, it's more of an emotional thing. I'm more passionate, so I get my feelings out.
Yep.
But then when I listen to it back, I always leave 3 or 4 points off the rant.
Always.
Shit.
So, yeah.
I could have said this, all right? When I tell you John didn't leave a point off the rant, John tweeted about 8 tweets, which I don't even know how to tweet. So I could tweet just one, but even if you comment on it, I don't even know how to respond to what you commented. I just know, I want to say something back. It may be, I don't know how to do that. John put like a dissertation together, like 8 straight long tweets. And I just wanted John to explain that because I felt like John had a drop the mic moment. It was no more points. He left no meat on the bone. I really wanted you to tap into that, buddy. And to also tell what prompted it.
All right. So, yeah. So basically, pretty much the whole season, but at least, especially over the last few weeks, you know, y'all know we've got a rookie quarterback, Desmond Ridder. You know, he had a great preseason. Few mistakes here there, but really look good. So a lot of folks really want to see him in the game because, you know, they think he's just better than Mariota. Well, we don't know that yet, but that's what they want to see. But anyway, there's folks that are just dead set on Mariota being like, he's fine, nothing wrong with him, it's fine, it's not just him, you know, whatever. You know, which is crazy to me if you're watching the games because there's clearly some deficiencies that, you know, like James and I were talking briefly before the show, like does a better quarterback win you the game? Probably so. Because he might hit some of those open throws and, you know, you have a better chance. I mean, we'll get into the stats and it's like, well, actually, no. So we ran the ball for 201 yards and we lost the game.
Yeah.
Like how many teams do you see run for 200 yards and lose the game?
Yep.
All right. So our passing, we were 12 for 23. All right. Yeah. I mean, like 114 yards. Like that's not going to do it, guys. Like that doesn't do it. So anyway, just seeing the Twitter wars going back and forth, like folks just defending Marcus like they're blind to what's going on, or seeing folks that's like, no, Ridder's got to be in there now, you know, not ignoring the fact that we're actually in a division race and we're like, you know, we're possibly still going to make the playoffs if we play well. So, you know, it's kind of asinine to bring in a rookie into that situation when you're not dead yet, right? I mean, you don't want to just upset completely unless Marcus is being completely, you know, ineffective and just incompetent and making terrible decisions and whatever. So, because like I said, Marcus didn't lose us the game yesterday. No, he contributed, but so did everybody else. Like there's a lot of blame to go around for how that game turned out. But basically, man, I just to lay it out for some folks. I mean, that, you know, maybe if you're not on Twitter or whatever. So statistically by PFF, and I mean, we kind of I don't know how you guys feel about PFF. We're kind of like, same way. So I mean, yeah, exactly. So I think
Drew's face, you said it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think their grading is kind of weird, but what we always go back to, at least it is a scale that every player is graded on the same way. So it does give you some type of, you know, perspective on it. So by PFF, he's literally right in the middle. He's like 14th, 15th rated as far as that goes, right? So he's right in the average. His QBR for 20+ yard passes across the middle is fucking 0. Yeah. 0. Okay. It's 1 for left of the hash mark, and it's 122.3 for right. Okay. Which is great. But that was 3 passes that he hit to the right. Yeah. Okay. 3 passes in the same game. So the league averages for that for across the middle is 84.3. That's the one he had a 0 for. The one to the left hash mark, 79.5, and then to the right, 78.4. Sure. Now 20 yards and under, he's pretty average to above average. Like that's kind of his wheelhouse. Like, you know, just get him open. Like a lot of play action, a lot of RPOs. Like that's where he excels. Yeah. So his completion percentage, 61.9%, which is near the bottom of the league. So if you look at all that, you have to see that's a deficiency. Like that's a huge deficiency when your quarterback, when the team knows, when the opposing team knows your quarterback cannot go downfield successfully.
You can stack the box.
Exactly. And they're going to take the risk and say, all right, if he does and he beats us, hey, congratulations, good for you. We took the risk and he did it. But we're not going to let that happen. So that's hurt. That hurts us badly when it goes into our offense, right? So I just kind of went on a rant about the rest of it. But anyway, my point is like the folks pretending there's nothing wrong with Marcus. You got to wake up a little bit, man, because there's nothing wrong with saying that you support Marcus, but I see his faults. Like, right. Like because we all as Falcons fans, we should want to win the game. So we should want to support whoever quarterback is playing. You should not want to see them suck. Regardless how bad you want to see Ritter or whatever. Like you want us to win the game, you want us to make a playoff run, whatever. Like that's what you know, but it's also okay to want to see Ritter and see what we have possibly in the future.
Right.
But it's not going to make any sense to do it now because we're still if we're 1-8, 2-6, whatever. Okay, it's time to see Ritter now.
Throw him out
because there's no point.
Yep.
Exactly. So that was just my whole deal, man. I wanted to throw some maybe just common sense talk into it because I don't hate Marcus at all. I want him to do well, you know, but I do see what the deficiencies are. Like he's not. You know, and people are acting like, well, he's rusty. Yeah, he's rusty. I mean, it's been 2 years he sat behind Derek and the Raiders, but we're 9 games in now, and we're 8 years into his career. He kind of is what he is. I mean, like I'm not expecting him to all of a sudden be, you know, turn into a prince. You know what I mean? So
John is the most fair fucking assessing motherfucker you will ever meet. So if you argue with John, you already wrong. I'm telling you that now. Okay? Because I may say we going to Super Bowl, we going undefeated. You can argue with me. Okay, I'm a bit delusional in that sense. I think Matt Ryan is the greatest quarterback that ever lived. Okay, so you can get on me. But when John is being fair and you motherfuckers are arguing, all he was saying was you got just be real with what you see. Be honest. No matter what. No matter what. If you see your brother as he's on tape stealing out of Walmart, and you can see the tape, no matter how much you love your brother, he's stealing out of Walmart. That is my brother on the tape stealing out of Walmart. Like so that's what John is saying, dog. You don't ignore what's right in front of your face because you this. Even I said, Matt Ryan, it's time, buddy. You go ahead with your kids.
Time to move.
Go ahead with your wife, man. We love you to death. It is time. I love him to death, but I can see. I don't have 20/20 vision, but I can see pretty good. I smoke a lot of weed, you know, so that affects eyesight, you know. But I can see. All right. So what John is saying is just be honest about what's in your face. And I thought it was the most fair. He came with statistics, and that's all he was saying. He wasn't saying for one way, like you right and you wrong, or you right and you wrong. He was just saying let's everybody be fair about what you see in front of you. That's it. And I thought it was the most dope rant ever.
Yeah, I mean, and there was, I mean, like, you know, there's some, he's, as far as yards per pass, where he's at 7.8, which is 6th in the league, you know, which is bizarre. And then, you know, his QB rating is 90th, which is 14th out of 35 qualified quarterbacks. So it's not like we're talking about he's just ass, like he's not. But I mean, it's just the deficiencies that he has hurts us as far as any type of game planning that we have. You know, that's why we're getting 150, 200 plus yards a game. Like, guys, this is what's crazy. I don't know if y'all knew this. We've already rushed for more yards this year than we did the entire season last year.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yo, we never run. Now, the Bolt Bros wouldn't notice, but y'all, every game, it was like, if you recall when James Harden was scoring like 50 points just by itself a game, it was like go, Matt Ryan, go. It was no running game for years, for like a decade. It was no, hey, come on, Matt, just win the game. And he's not that talented to just do that. So it was always on him. So that's why I'm his biggest fan, because he was the only one who was going to rumble. So that's to even have a running game. If we was getting 110 yards a game, I'd be thoroughly blown away. So when you're getting 200 like per game, it's really something to blow away. But I will say this: I have to ask Andrew and James this. I've gone on a rant on Arthur Smith. Okay, John has gone on a rant on Mariota. Andrew or James, I know you won. I'm asking you, what is one of you get out of your Falcon mind, and I need you to go on a Charger rant. Just get somebody. I got Arthur Smith. John got Mariota. The Step fans. I need Andrew or James. I know you won, but I know you was mad at somebody. Somebody pissed you off. Somebody deserves all the smoke. I need you to give it to him out of your Falcon mind. Let's go. Somebody. James or Andrew, come on.
Who do we want to rant at? You know,
Shout out
I'm
to
gonna-
Kyle. Hey, I wish I had you here for this, buddy. But come on.
yeah, yeah. Kyle will probably go on something there about some player of some sort. But you know what? Look, I'm gonna really look at this defense, and and once again, this defense should have been a much better defense. And once again, this is Brandon Staley's defense. This is his defense that he's created. He's got these defensive players that we've signed: J.C. Jackson, Sebastian Joseph Day, Austin Johnson, Kyle Van Noy, all these guys that we ended up throwing onto this team because these were the guys that were supposed to be Brandon Staley's defense. And guess what? We're about the same exact defense right now that we were last year with less talent. We have basically getting smoked on the run game, which we were thinking, oh, we just built up our defensive line, and our defensive line is going to be super stout. We're going to be able to stop the run. We got a great backfield with Derwin James, J.C. Jackson, Sante Samuel Jr. We got Bryce Callahan, who's playing lights out for us. You know, we're going to be great. Our defense is going to be top 5. I mean, I think we're ranked probably 31st in the league for the amount of points scored on our defense.
Shit.
We're like 28th in the league versus the run, and we're like okay against the pass. I think we're like middle of the pack. Brandon Staley, once again, I kind of went back on, hey, this coaching staff is doing the right thing, and they're coaching with less talent on field, I should say, based upon injuries, but they're not showing out to be this defense that we thought they were going to be. When Brandon Staley got hired, he was the number one defensive. Well, they were the number one defense with the Rams. Mind you, you did have, one of the best defensive tackles with Aaron Donald on that team. That makes a big difference, but we don't have that guy. But my rant is towards Brandon Staley. Get this defense right. Get this defense right, because we are not playing up to par right now. So that's my big rant. If I'm going to go on somebody, we need that to happen. Now, we've been jumping on the offense a ton, but they're doing okay. They're like 8th ranked in the league. Maybe 6th now, I think, something like that. That's fine. Last year we were 5th ranked offense, but this defense needs to figure itself out because we're the same trajectory as last year, where we're going to end up being one of the worst against the run, and we're going to be subpar against the pass. Right. That's just my rant that I'm going to throw out there. This defense needs to wake up and play better. Bottom line.
The contentment on Andrew's face when you went on that rant, just smile, the peace. You can see,
it was funny because I didn't have to do my rant, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Because the reality is this, right? We needed to see this defense get better and improve. So it's kind of funny. If you've seen some of my older videos, I basically made this analogy that Brandon Staley sat on Santa Spanos's lap, the owner of our team, and said, okay, I want to go get Khalil Mack. I want to get J.C. Jackson. I want to get a nice defensive line. All this money has to go to the defense. And guess what? It hasn't improved our defense at all. Now, the argument is that, yes, they don't quite understand our defense. But again, I think that's coaching, right? You know, J.C. Jackson's more of a man corner. He's not really a zone guy, but that's how we play, right? So maybe he was the wrong guy to bring in and spend $82 million on. Now that he's out for the season, it's even more unfortunate. But you're exactly right, James. I think we, as a team, we have to perform better. The one thing I did read an article about Brandon Staley, and he says, there's a lot of ugly football being played right now. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Statistically speaking, I think on average, we're down 4 points a game across the board. I think that's the worst scoring offensive numbers since like 2010, something like that. Yeah. Right. And part of it, though, is that the defenses have gotten smart against knocking down the deep pass. So to your point about Mariota throwing the ball down, that's why the 2 high safeties there, because they can disrupt that pass.
Right. Yeah.
It makes it difficult for them to throw the ball downfield, keep everything in front of you. But to your point, James, it's frustrating when you sit here and you spend all this money and yet it's not working. Now, if I do have a hope, one little ray of light is that it's still early in the season and hopefully we get it figured out if we get into a playoff spot. But boy, we're sure not looking like a playoff team, in my opinion. I think we look okay. I don't think we look great. I think we look okay. So I think these next 2 games will be interesting to see how we play. Because, hey, Chiefs, Niners, yowzers, dude.
That's
yowzers.
But I will say this. But I will say this. The bros was right about Tranquil. But
Oh,
the man on your defense is Mike Davis, buddy.
Davis, hey, he played a
That
played well,
dude,
man.
Hey, dog, I'm like, when you say that you want Tyler, I want Mike Davis. I thought Mike Davis played amazing. And I don't get to see the Chargers play. So you don't get to see him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who's this dude? And he don't be on the highlights or nothing.
Oh,
I'm like, who's
you would
this?
never know that he wasn't a starter.
You would
just by
never
watching
know.
the
The
game.
dude, how's he not a starter, y'all? I mean, what is he? How do y'all feel about him?
Yeah. So he was, by the way, interesting situation with him. He actually went to BYU. He was undrafted from BYU.
Okay.
Just like Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
He was actually benched his senior year because he was, I'm a senior, I should be playing. Nope, you're not going to play. Went undrafted, came over to the Chargers, found a spot. He's actually getting paid $7 million a year. He was our number one cornerback last season. When J.C. Jackson came in, he replaced Mike Davis. So he was more there. Asante Samuel's more the slot, and then so he was just on the bench at this point.
Yeah.
The thing, though, I will say about Mike Davis is he understands Brandon Staley's defense much better than J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson was in 100% Bill Belichick's defense. He does not understand Brandon Staley's 100%. So that was kind of the frustration that we had as fans with J.C. Jackson. Yes, more talent, probably better across the board, but Mike Davis knows what to do. And so
he's not scared to come up. He's not scared to come up and make contact at all.
He's 6'2", 190. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Big corner.
You said what, John?
He's 6'2", 190. He's a big corner.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's very big. He's very big. Yeah, he's physical. He had 7 tackles, 4 solo tackles, and 1 tackle. No tackles for loss, and 1 pass defended. Now, I will say this though: most teams are not throwing to Asante Samuel at all. I think he was only thrown to not even at all. Yeah. So they were picking on Mike Davis specifically, but he stepped up. So thank God. He looked really good out there. So I was very happy to see that. Very happy. I know that was one thing we talked about in the chat.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna hop into the chat real quick. Our chat real quick. Let's see.
Yep.
James Hilton, what is up, James? Good to see you, buddy.
He said, "What is up?" Come on, James. It's just 2 words, buddy. You can come on, buddy. What is up? I love it.
Anthony, what's going on? What's good?
It's like that commercial. What's up?
Anthony.
All right. D. Sloan says we should have won that game. Had multiple chances to win, but hats off to Chargers. Yep. Yeah. Bottom line, man. Yeah. We had opportunities. They didn't. We didn't capitalize on it. Let's see. False start Falcons is must win versus the Pampers.
The Pampers.
Love it. I love it.
I've
never heard that term for the Pampers.
Pampers. I like that. I like that.
That's great.
That's great. Yeah, it is, man. It's definitely a must win because if we do want to stay in this division race, we don't need to drop it.
And the whole mood of change. Like we was on a high. The whole
winning cures everything. Winning cures everything.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, and it looks like PJ Walker again will be the quarterback who was started with like last time against us just 10 days ago. And then they did activate what's his name though, buddy, your boy, that quarterback.
No.
He's activated. I don't know if he's gonna play or not, but
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, so y'all, I don't get pissed whoever beat us because I always feel like he's qualified. He's in the NFL. I'm not insulted. Sam Darnold beating us does something to my soul. Okay,
something about him.
That's something about that did something to me. I can't take it again.
Yeah, no, we can't. We can't have that show again. Like I don't even want to do that show.
No, it was.
We'll turn the light off. I'm gonna have a bunch of liquor right here, and then we'll just have
shot after shot.
Yeah,
it'll be a great show. We held the show. And yeah, man, looking at some of the hot talking points too after the game, man. And this has been, I mean, guys, for us, it's been frustrating because we drafted Kyle Pitts 4 last year, right? Unicorn of a tight end. He had 7 targets yesterday on Sunday, 2 catches for 27 yards.
Yep.
I mean,
you're not using him the right way. Yeah, you guys need to get him in the game plan somehow. You have to.
You said it best with a quarterback. Like, I guarantee you that they sat and said, "Man, so this hurt. So how about this? You sidearm. It don't feel good. So we're gonna have you sidearm a few on purpose, intentionally. That's the design. And we're gonna have anytime you feel like you're gonna hit contact, we don't want that to get hit. So my handy band, you're gonna be in the vicinity. Everything is for your benefit. Everything is to your everything is catered to you. To have Kyle Pitts and to not cater it to Kyle Pitts is insane, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
just looking at the numbers, I mean, this is wild, dude. Like, if he continues on the same path that he's on now, he's on pace for 43 catches and 538 yards this season.
Nah.
But that's just an average
Oof.
tight end.
Yeah. It's not
Like
good.
the man
Yeah.
went for almost like he second ever in history last year as a rookie tight end as
In
far as
history.
yardage.
Right.
Right.
Ask
So, I mean,
yourself
like-
this question: what would he be if he was on the Chargers?
Holy shit.
I mean, we would
Second
use
coming
it
in
like-
Antonio Gates. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I mean,
exactly right. Right.
I mean,
A good quarterback can make a big difference, right?
It
That's-
can.
To your point, makes a big difference. Ritter, right?
And he has been open a few times to his credit and just missed him.
Yeah.
You know that he just missed him. And like I
he
said,
had a few drops too.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he was the first player I drafted in fantasy. I know that you don't go and you don't draft and you don't go get a tight end,
Yeah.
but I figure like he's a unicorn.
He's got to kill it.
Yeah,
he's
one
gotta
good
kill it.
game all season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had
uh,
5 drops today, or 5 drops. So 2 receptions, 7 targets. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Drake London, he had 7 targets and 3 receptions. You
Yep.
know, we drafted him 8 overall. You know,
Yep.
so like, and I'm not mad at the pick because
No.
Ridley was on
needed-
suspension. We needed a receiver.
Yep.
We needed. I mean, there's no Julio Jones anymore.
Mhm.
You know, it's like so. You know, Russell Gage was off to Tampa Bay, so you know we had to have a receiver. We needed, and he fits Arthur Smith's game plan perfectly. So
Sure.
I mean, I wasn't mad about that. But yeah, it's just we keep hearing here in Atlanta you know, they're going to take away our number one, dude. Every team tries to take away the other team's number one.
everyone.
But
Yep.
those number
Everyone.
ones, but those
Yep.
number ones still get catches, man.
Yep.
And they still
do.
score, and they still affect the game. Like, and I know Pitts has become a better blocker. He's become a better, you know, more complete tight end. Blah blah blah. But dude, like, you can't have a guy that big and that fast and that physical,
Mhm.
and just 2 catches for 27 yards, and that's becoming more norm this year than it is like that last week against the 5 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. Like, that's been the outlier this year. You know, that should be the normal. You know, at
Yeah,
least.
yep.
You know,
And
so
so,
that's-
did Ritter go? Ritter was a Bearcat, correct? Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Is that where he went?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ran the RPO there as well.
yeah, very similar. Yeah,
Okay.
very similar.
So
Yeah,
it is interesting because you could easily plug and play him in there and be exactly what you have with Mariota. So I understand your argument even more now because he could fit with that better, and maybe he would get on the same page with Pitts as well too. So it's a really
Yeah.
interesting conversation, guys. I mean, as a Falcons, you know, just seeing it from this game's perspective, yeah, I could see why Falcons fans would be a little frustrated, right?
You
So-
would
and
assume.
and
you
it
would
would build
assume
off of
that-
that a little bit too. You want to go, Mike? You want to
No,
go?
no,
Mike?
no. Here's all I would say. You would assume that he's not playing because he's stationary and we need a
Yep.
mobile quarterback. But
He's
if he
not.
can run too, you don't really get it. So that's like
Right.
the whole argument.
Oh, they're almost
Right.
exact. I mean, like, they're almost
Yeah.
exact replica of each other. They're both the
They
same
are.
height almost. I mean, like, very similar offenses that you know that Ritter ran. I mean,
Yeah.
the dude, he never lost a home game his entire career at Cincinnati. I mean, like,
Winner.
he's a winner. And
Yeah.
did he make some mistakes in preseason? Yeah, of course he did. But did he also won us a game in Detroit? And I mean, he didn't look nervous. He didn't look overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You know, again, I'm not saying bring him in now in the middle of a division race, but I mean, you have to wonder, like, you know, what's that going to be like when he's in there?
Well, and this is the thing. Like, if you got 2 different conversions on 3rd down with Ritter versus what Mariota did through the air, you know, not even 120 yards. Do you think Ritter could have got you 30 more yards in this game through the air? That could have been, you know, 1 or 2 more conversions for you guys to extend plays and drives out. That's really the thing.
Mhm.
Like, my thing about this is, like, I always look at quarterbacks as, like, what's the X factor for these guys and how do they react when the game's on the line? Like, well, we could go back to this game on Sunday. You know, when the game was on the line and potentially that Mariota could have been that guy to be able to push the ball down, to be able to go to a field goal position or a touchdown or whatever it is, he went 3 and out. And that was it. And now, once again, that was play calling possibly too. But one thing I look about this is I look at quarterbacks and say, okay, what is your history for like comeback wins, game winning drives and such like that? Now, you know, Mariota, he's had 11 comebacks in his career, 13 game winning drives. Okay, cool. Well, Justin Herbert, he's only played three years, 9 comebacks, 11 game winning drives. So you see these things that are the X factors of quarterbacks. Can Desmond Ridder be that guy to be able to put that X factor in the quarterback position to make the throws when are necessary?
Yeah,
maybe he was able to hit Pitts and downfield and have a much more accuracy and be able to get a long touchdown for him. Maybe he was just able to get a first down in the right time instead of 2 throws that basically didn't get you anywhere, and it was a 3 and out. Interesting, eerie part of this game, after the fumble that we recovered and we're out of field goal position, when Herbert basically made that throw to be able to put us right back into field goal position. That's to me is a clutch play. That's a play that's an X factor type play. Get you that point right back to where you're at, get right back to the point to where you can win the game. Eerie thing about that is when we played you guys in 2020, it was almost the same. It was the same exact play around the same exact time of the game to be able to set up for a field goal to win the game. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that. It was floating around on NFL.
Why does James remember this? If you don't think James the GOAT, why do you remember that from 2 years ago?
Hey, I got reminded.
How do you remember?
I got reminded by it. I saw it on Chargers Instagram, and I was like, "Wow, that is an eerie plan." Or the exact same play call to the exact same position to get into a position to win the game. I was stunned. But once again, that's 2 of his game-winning drive type situations to be able to set up that. Now, I'm just saying maybe Desmond Ridder's got that ability to be able to do it. I'll say based upon the stats of Marcus Mariota, he hasn't had a whole heck of a lot of times where he's had to come from behind wins or comeback wins or whatnot. So I'm just saying you would hope that he would be that guy that could do that for you guys because you guys have the run game set. You have the offense set for him. For a rookie running back, you want a very good running game behind him. You have that. And you have that X factor player, Cordero Patterson, who I think is a stud. And I wish we picked him up in free agency because I kept saying we need him. And we didn't get him. Maybe they had conversations or whatever, but he ended up signing with you guys. But that's the thing that I would hope that Desmond Ridder would be able to be that guy to just make those extra throws when it's really, really critical in the game. And I'm hoping he could do that.
I had one thought, and I'll be very brief. I think about the comeback player of the year so far this year, Geno Smith, an ex-Charger, right?
Yes.
Think about him for just a second, because we talk about Marcus Mariota, right? And the thing about Geno Smith is, and he is playing lights out. But the thing is, Pete Carroll did a very good job of building a game plan around him. So to your point, John, I mean, this way back in the early part of the conversation, Art Smith needs to sit down and make a game plan for Marcus Mariota if he's going to stay out there. Yes, I think a lot of coaches could tend to say, okay, this is what we do. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is who we are. Well, this is who you are. This is what you want to be. But is this the right guy to be leading your offense? That's the tough question. And that's coaching. That's 100% coaching. And I give hats off because Geno Smith was a Charger. We let him go playing lights out. And it just goes to show you, if you get on the right team and the right team uses you and uses you correctly, you can be very successful. So I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And then looking at another narrative that's going on around our team. I mean, guys, at the beginning of the season, everybody was like, oh, worst roster in the league. Literally, like that's what every media outlet said. This is the worst roster in the league, 2-15, 3 wins. That was going to be, the ceiling for us, So we kind of figured we knew because we followed the team so closely. We're like, oh, this is bullshit. We're going to get 7-8 wins, something like that.
Right.
But, and then you start winning a little bit, and then all of a sudden we're 4-4, and it's like everybody's like, well, shit, this is actually, we're a better squad than we thought we were, and then we've also got fans just like, well, don't forget, we're just doing the best we can do with, this roster we got. And I'm like, no, see, that's why you don't make those type of claims before the season even starts. You have to wait and see what you got. 100%. So now that we see what we got, we can see obviously, okay, we don't have the worst roster in the league. This team can win. So the expectation level. Now, do we expect to go to the Super Bowl? Mike might expect to go to
Super Bowl, buddy.
Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
But in reality, no. I mean, if we get in the playoffs, it's going to be probably one and done because again, against an elite quarterback with any type of weapons. I mean, that's it. We're done. Type of thing. But it's okay to expect more out of the team. Even I mean, to go like we shouldn't expect to lose to the Panthers or lose to the bottom type teams in the league, like the Panthers are going to be drafting 1 or 2 next year.
Yep.
You know,
Big time.
so
Yeah.
like there's no reason for us to just because we were supposed to have a bad roster, just be okay with the mediocrity, because that's not the case. Like, you know, you adjust your expectation level based on what you're seeing. You know, at least that's what me and Mike and I do. But and looking at just some crazy weird stats. So other than we've already rushed for more yards than we did last season, we're 31st in sack rate. We started off the season pretty decent. We've got 12 this entire season. Okay, the Patriots had 9 on Sunday.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah.
Fucking 9.
Crazy.
Insane.
And that's all scheming. Man. That's scheming.
Yeah.
Like
Bill
Belichick knows
was
what
that
he's
your
doing.
defense?
What? Yes.
They scored 28 fantasy points.
Yeah, it
I know.
didn't mean it
Crazy.
still lost, but you know, it's all good.
Yeah.
We're dead last in passing yards allowed. We've allowed 2,700 passing yards. The next closest is the Ravens at 23-29, almost 400 yards less is the next closest.
Wow.
So we are allowing an opposing QB completion percentage of 68.9, which is next to last. Only the Raiders are worse than we are.
We don't like those Raiders.
Yeah, we want to see the Raiders down.
Right.
Exactly.
Much as possible. We don't care about them.
They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose against the Colts this weekend. Watch.
Oh my God! Wow.
Thank God.
How wouldn't that be?
Well,
something?
yeah, it'll be the new coach bump, man. Like they got a Saturday, they're gonna be jacked. Yeah, they watch it happen.
Yeah,
26th in points allowed per game at 25. We're 11th in rushing yards, which was that's the outlier because we can rush the ball. And then this is what kills us is 118 third down attempts on us this year, and there's been 56 conversions. Okay, so they're completing it. Their teams are converting with us at 47.4%, which is the worst in the NFL. Yeah, and you guys were 50% this. I think you were 8 for 16 or something like that on Sunday. So so at the end of the game, like you were just saying, like when you guys got the ball back, like for us, there's very little, like there's a minuscule bit of hope that we're actually going to stop you.
Oh,
guys.
yeah,
Like it's like just pray that he drops it. Like that's our defense. Like it's like hope he drops it. I mean, because it's just, and again, I don't want to crap on them too bad because yes, they are backups. Cornell Armstrong was on a practice squad, probably, working somewhere else 3 weeks ago. And now he's, defending a wide receiver in the NFL, and Darren Hall wasn't a starter either. So, I mean, it's, we were down, but again, you guys were down. And if it's your top receivers, that would have been, I mean, ugly.
Because
so
Palmer dropped.
Yes,
he fucked up a few times that I liked it. Yeah,
and he still went off for what was it? Eight catches, 106 yards.
Yeah, the one that went off his head and got an interception, which is unbelievable.
Oh no,
God,
Barnaby, shame on you, bud. I just want to tell him how he put out of your bolting mind. Barnaby,
hey, it's that collab, son. It's that collab.
Oh, that's a collab,
bro.
That's our new shirt idea. That's our new shirt idea.
Yeah.
It ain't no game plan for plain toast. He is right. Yeah. So here's my only point about Marcus and Ritt. I swear I'll get off it after this. The bar is so low. I have no understanding of why you wouldn't at least see. Because and man, my girlfriend is gonna hate me for telling this story, but I could kill us. It's my show. I'm out of my fucking mind.
She probably ain't watching. It's
her
cool,
last.
man.
She probably won't never hear it. To be her last boyfriend took her to Sonic on Valentine's Day. Sonic.
Oh, no.
Drive-through Sonic.
Yo,
what I'm saying is, it's not that I think I'm doing a pretty good job at being her boyfriend, but what I'm saying is, if I even take you to
it's a big step up.
That's a big step up. Like, this dude's a piece of shit. And I could get into more, but I won't. But this dude's a piece of shit. So I'm saying the bar's so low. If I even supersize your meal, I'm better than him. So that's what I'm saying. If you can throw for a competent first down, that is the bar right now. So it's like to not even see if somebody can do that and run is kind of wild. That's why I'm questioning my coach now. Because I gave you patience. I just thought he must suck in practice if you're not putting him in.
Right.
You must be horrific. But now I'm like, how much? If this dude is throwing for about like 100 yards a game, what is the floor, buddy? Like, what is? You don't think he can do that? If that's sad because you drafted him. If you don't think he can throw for 100, but we got more issues with your picks and your coaching and your common sense. So that's it.
You know, and it's crazy because if you start thinking about some of those players. All right, well, actually, a perfect example, Justin Herbert. when he got drafted in 2020, game 2, start of the Chiefs game, Tyrod Taylor got jabbed. Yep. Got a punctured lung. Yep. And all of a sudden we're seeing Justin Herbert walk out on the field. We're like, what are we doing here? Like, what do we expect from this? This is exciting. Was this a part of the game plan? I don't know. And what did he do? He balled out. And he's staying in that same balling out mentality through his career thus far. Like, you never know until he get on that field and see. Maybe he gets out there and all of a sudden you're like, wow, why did we not play this guy week 1? What would he have been different? I mean, now he's got 7-8 weeks, 9 weeks. Well, I should say into the season that he's actually been in the system. Do you think that he's got enough to be able to at least throw, like I said earlier, another 40 more yards than what Mariota did and get you a couple extra first downs? Like, that's the thing. That's when the shift needs to happen. Because like a quarterback's job is to throw the ball and get the ball to a first down or to a touchdown. So I'm just saying, man, give him a shot. Give him a shot.
Barnaby, come on, man. He just said I trademarked it.
I know. Hey, let me ask you a question.
Like, come on, man.
Are the beat writers?
It's out of your Falcon mind.
Yeah.
It's out of your Falcon mind. How would we know if the Balt Bros was a good podcast? But we gave them a go. We put them in the game, and they was awesome, buddy. You know,
it all worked out.
They are the
peanut butter and jelly. We're like peanut butter and jelly, dude.
Peanut butter and jelly, man. Perfect mix, perfect match. And
well, Andrew, what did you say there, buddy?
I was just going to say, are the beat writers for the Falcons talking about this at all? Are they talking about, hey, Mariota needs to go, let's get rid of Rashad? Or is it kind of like, or even is the coaching staff splitting reps in practice to see who does what?
No, I think Desmond's getting all the second team reps right now.
Really?
Yeah. And the thing is, and I mean, Mike and I have talked about it before. I mean, Marcus has a locker room. Like, the guys love him. They support him. They're behind him. Like, you know, he's a very calming influence on a lot of them. Like, you know, and that's, and, you know, give him credit. I mean, like, you know, again, he's been in the league for 8 years. He was Heisman Trophy winner, top draft pick, got benched, and then he was relegated to backing up a guy. So like, the experience that he has is great that he can share with Desmond. And again, like, not too many things are going to rattle him. You know, we've seen him progress. Like Mike and I mean, like, and the Falcons fans got to say, you've seen him progress since week 1. Like, he has made strides. I'll give him that. But all that being said, the actual digital media team for the Falcons, no, they're not saying anything about possible. I mean, they'll answer fan questions about it now. Like, some of the friends we have in the business, like, they've definitely put out articles, and, you know, that are, you know, that they're frustrated, you know, with they want to see something different too. But you know, and Arthur's in a tough spot. He's kind of in a no-win situation. I mean, if he brings in Ritter and he's awesome, they're like, well, what the hell? Why did you bring him in 6 weeks ago? You bring him in and he sucks ass. You're like, well, we told you, man. Why would you take him out when Mariota was, you know, doing a decent enough job to keep?
We could have made the playoffs,
right? Yeah. So it's. I think, you know, and I'm not obviously not a coach. I'm not, but I think he's kind of waiting for the season to play itself out and see how it's going to. Because if we stay in playoff contention, he's not going to bring him in. If we drop out of it. Sure, I think he gets it. It's a perfect out for him. Okay, guys, we're out of playoff contention. You know, we can't win the division, so we need to see what we got in Ritter going into next year before the draft, that type of thing. If we make the playoffs and we do not see Ritter at all this year, Mike and I talked about it on the last show. You know, the next year you just have a straight up competition for it. You know, and you expect at that point Ritter to beat out Marcus, because if you can't, like Mike said, you got a whole other problem, because you drafted this guy to be your starter, and he can't beat out Marcus Mariota as your starter.
And he's getting paid a lot of money to be on the bench too.
You
guys are, you know what you guys are waiting for? You guys are waiting for a Tanya Harding moment.
Crank him right on. I'll do it in a New York, man. Just give me the opportunity and the steel pipe. I will go.
That's what you want. You want a Tanya Harding moment. That's it. That's what you want.
What's crazy is we thought that Marcus would do it. We're hurt himself by now, because that's been his career. Like, he hurts. We all thought, okay, like, he's going to be hurt by like week 6, you know, or 7, and then we'll see. We'll see. Desmond, he's actually protected himself really well this year. Like, he's not taking the shots that he used to take, and he's being a lot smarter with his body. So, I mean, good for him. I mean, you know, but I mean, it's
I waxed his steps at home when he was gone one day. The man ain't slipped yet. The man haven't slipped down them steps yet. But hold on, I gotta say something, John. How did you get a 311 Falcon shirt? Is that what that is?
It's not a Falcon shirt, but they came to town. I don't know when this was, 2017 maybe.
Yeah,
And these shirts they put out at the concert, they made it in Falcons colors.
that
So,
is fucking.
Oh,
I
that's
just
solid.
that is awesome, buddy. Jesus,
I like
I've
the
never
jacket,
seen
too.
that.
Love
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
jacket.
your jackets.
Yeah, Jesus
Fly.
Christ,
I've
Yeah,
been
man.
saying Mike's been having sweater game is like
man. It's just.
good, solid.
I don't
solid.
have
Yeah.
I don't have savings, but I got some hoodies. I hope my car don't break.
we got a
down.
hell of a closet. We got
Yeah, a hell
got
of a
some Hex
closet.
art back here on the wall.
Love
It's
it.
great. Some guitar.
Yeah, I
Love
like
it,
the,
man.
yeah, it looks good. Looks at that Falcon looks good back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Looking great.
that's let's see. We got Barnum. You got one more thing here. Mariota just needs a new arm accuracy, near pair of eyes better. Hey, yeah.
I'll take the receivers off, but I agree with you the rest.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, there's been enough blame to go around, and we'll end it on this, guys. I watched I watched all the coaches' press conference today. Dean Pease, man, he came in hot on his. They first couple of questions was about third down conversions and allowing explosive plays. He went on about it. Mike, you got to watch. I sent it to you. Did you watch it
I
yet?
didn't get a chance to see
All
it
right,
yet.
you got to
I'm
watch
dying
it.
to hear
He
it.
goes on about a 7 or 8, 9, 10-minute rant about the positives in the defense. Okay, and I'll just hit a few of them.
Okay.
We basically this Sunday said we gave up the second lowest QB rating on an opposing QB that we've had this year. So apparently Justin had an 80 rating this Sunday, which was the second lowest we'd allowed. The fewest big plays this season was we allowed this game. So no 20+ yard plays were allowed. Of course, he's super pissed off about the negatives, but the 20 yards and 330 yards per game would rank us 330 yards per game would rank us 12th in the league, which is what we I think we were 336 this against you guys.
Yep.
He said basically he's going to coach off the positives and not the negatives. He's proud as hell of that team. Been around a lot of defenses and he's not disappointed at all in them. He loves coaching them. We've had 3-5 and out, 5 3 and outs during the game, and he felt really bad for TQ. He said he didn't mean to drop the ball. You know, that's not that. That's just to happen to that during that play. But yeah, he was super pissed off about all the negative comments and questions that he gets after pretty much every game about the defense. Because, I mean, I get his point that you're improving, but dude, when you're dead last man in passing, and those questions are going to come, man. Like I don't know what you expect. I mean,
he has a mom approach. But you can't do that in the press. You being a mom, my baby, you could be horrific. My baby, look at my baby go. Like you can't be, but we suck, man. But I think the one thing I think he's maybe touching on is who he has. Everybody's injured and it's still functional.
Yeah.
They still gave up a fight. So it could be like, man, those dudes fought and it should have been a landslide. So maybe just because they fought, but just I would prefer if you didn't do that, buddy. Just it was a bad outing. It's not. It was disappointing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you look at
getting that
right, and the 20 points per. I mean, we allowed 20 points. That's not bad. I mean, with our offense that we've had this year, you would expect to win that game. You know, so I mean, it was just funny to watch him kind of just get really pissed off. He did say, he feels that we're trending in the right direction, which, I mean, I agree with him on that. I mean, like Mike and I, we've talked about it, the defense itself. I mean, it was shaky as hell last year. You can definitely see the improvement this year. It'll be interesting to see with $90 million next year what we can go out and, buy.
You make a splash. That's a big splash.
By the way, Michael Davis,
man.
I think, is a free agent after next season. This season 2, by the way. So who knows? Maybe he'll go to the East Coast. Maybe you go to your guys' side. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we just need AJ to come back badly. Badly, because I mean
when he coming back, John?
I think he was listed today. I think he's off. But I still don't think he'll be back for Thursday.
Okay,
because that's such a short turnaround, and we got to play Thursday night. But no, I mean, and AJ wasn't having like his best season, but he's still better than most.
Yes,
you know what I mean. So I mean, like it's having him out there is a big difference. So, and Casey Hayward's out for the season, so once he comes back, I think defense will look a little bit better as far as the passing goes. But I mean, I don't know. I still don't think that even with him, that we're going to probably win that game on Sunday, just because, I mean, I don't know. We just allow too many underneath stuff going on all day long. So
It's hard. It's hard.
Michael Bandy. Bandy.
Yeah,
Michael Bandy. Handy Bandy. Bandy
it's tough
Handy.
to stop. Yeah.
Dick or the
And,
kicker.
Dick or the
Dick or
kicker.
the kicker,
Win it
man.
for us.
And Handy Bandy.
Handy Bandy. What kind of team are we running here, man?
Right.
Man, yeah. And then I saw this on Twitter. So this is posted about Austin Gale. The rookie ranks in pass rush win rates with stunts and blitzes, and stunts and blitzes are removed from this stat. Our boy Arnold Ebiketti's 9.5%, which apparently is the fourth amongst rookies this year. So not too bad. Aiden Hutchinson number 1, George Karlaftis number 2, which I really like that dude too. I wanted him a lot. And then Kayvon Thibodeau is the next one. So that was interesting. Also, Mike, we didn't talk about it, but Matt Hennessy, who filled in for Elijah Wilkinson this game, played really well at left guard actually, and he hurt his knee and he's on IR now. So there goes that. And then the illustrious run of Bo Pete Keys came to an end today. He was on. You guys, we signed him to the practice squad like 2 weeks ago. And we never heard of him. He played corner at Tulane some years ago, and poor guy never saw the field. But that was he's got a name like Bo Pete, so we had to say.
All right.
And then just another guy that Michael's attest to this. I talked nonstop about in the pre-draft era.
Grant?
No, Sauce Gardner.
Oh, Sauce Gardner.
Sauce.
Yeah, so I wanted him badly too. So this is crazy. This is from Brett Coleman on Twitter. These are the guys he's matched up against this year so far: Amari Cooper, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Stephon Diggs, and Gabe Davis. Total catches versus man coverage 4 for 28 yards.
That's ridiculous for a rookie. I mean, unheard of.
What in the hell?
Nobody. I don't know if you compare that to the history of the NFL. I don't know that anyone's ever done that.
That is insane. Like
that's
that,
insane.
those stats. That seems like Madden stats. I don't even seem real.
Yeah.
I mean,
He came from Cincinnati too, right? He was a Bearcat.
Yeah, that same Bearcat team. Barnaby says we'll send you J.C. Jackson, Tillery. Hell no on Tillery, man. I ain't taking speed bump. And
Mike Davis
and Kenneth Murray this all season. We just want Patterson to return. Nah, man.
That's a lot of salary. That's a lot of salary dump for us, to be honest.
CP's already said he wanted to retire Falcons, so he's not going anywhere. He loves Atlanta, man. He loves Atlanta because this is the first team, and Arthur's the first coach to give him a true chance, like at not just being a special teams player.
Agreed. I mean, and that's the thing, man. A lot of these coaches and teams have not played him the way that he should be played. Brandon Staley talks about it. And he's like, man, when that guy's got the ball in his hands, he's just electric. He knows what he could do.
And I'll be honest, I don't know that I've said this before. I don't know that anyone that's ever played on our team has been happier to be an Atlanta Falcon. He seemed to want to play here, which is unheard of.
Man, he plays catch with kids in the front row every game.
It's ridiculous.
Before the game, like he's all about it. He's I mean,
he love Atlanta. Yeah.
He's 100% bought in. Yeah, and he's definitely a leader on offense. Brings the energy every time. I mean, just great dude. So, Mike, you got anything else, buddy, before we close up shop?
Did you want to do underrated, overrated, or?
You know what? We'll probably save it since I know these guys got to go pretty soon.
So I do want to do one. Go
ahead.
Now I'm gonna do underrated. This is a game we play on Out of Your Falcon. Man, I just want to go. I got something. Number one, I gotta go underrated. The Ball Bros podcast, man.
Man.
If you're not listening to Ball, if you on the West Coast and I don't care if you a Rams fan, switch over, okay? If you in California and you not listening to Ball Bros, they are the West Coast equivalent of Out of Your Falcon mind.
100%. 100%.
Go over there and check the Bros out. It's a fucking awesome show. The production, the graphics, the bros, they take it just as serious as we do. As you see, you can tell by how they dressed right now. We all grown men, and you see how we're all dressed. Okay, so you can see check the background.
Like I'm a
they're awesome, man. So I encourage anybody. Man, we had a guy that was from you guys' podcast that wrote us and was like, man, I'm a subscribe. I'm like a Charger fan, but I'll listen to you guys. You seem really cool. I thought that was amazing. So I would encourage any guys that are, if you're a fan of Out of Your Falcon mind, these dudes are that cool. You might not be a Charger fan, but if you want good content, you just check them out. I'm telling you, they're worth a sub. They're worth a follow. Bolt Bros are fucking awesome. So first thing is like underrated Bolt Bros podcast. Okay. Now I want to say overrated. I gotta do this. I had to do this because they hurt my heart earlier. Okay, so I had to say it. What is overrated is the appeasement of everybody. Now it's going too far. Okay, Kellogg's cereal released a statement today that says, you know, the Snap, Crackle, Pop.
Oh, Rice Krispies.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Pop is now going to be a transgender man. They're going to change the name. And I'm saying, where have we gotten it? What the fuck are you guys doing? It's a cereal. It's a cartoon.
Yeah. Who was thinking about that?
No one.
Yeah.
We are going
Wait. Who had their Rice Krispies this morning and was like, God damn it, we really need that dude to be a transgender.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, we gotta have it.
Nobody.
I'm gonna tell you, in 10 years, it'll be a blind man, a transgender, and a paraplegic on your Rice Krispies. Just so everyone can feel it. It's going too far. When you come for, if Tony the Tiger get a sex change, I'm calling it quits. Okay? If Tony the Tiger is Tanya the Tiger, I'm telling you, I'm putting my foot down at a point. I love everybody. I'm all inclusive for everybody. I'm not saying that, but this shit is hitting a new. Don't come for Rice Krispies, okay? It's already a bland ass nasty cereal. The least you could do is make the cartoon cute, okay?
Yeah,
nobody
exactly.
eat that shit without a load of sugar anyway, okay?
That's right.
It's only a Rice Krispie treat.
That's all it is.
Exactly. 100%.
What rice? Ain't no flavor.
Butter and marshmallows.
That's all it is.
That's it.
Come on, man. You're ruining our childhoods. You're ruining them. This is going a bit too far. Everybody cannot be appeased, okay? Everybody can't be included in everything. It's fine, man. I never saw that and said, you know what, man, you know what I want? Snap to be a black man. It's Snap, Crackle, Pop. I fucking never needed that. I never needed it for my comfort. I never needed him to have dreadlocks so I could feel included. It wouldn't look right on the box. It wouldn't look good on the box. I know it wouldn't. So I'm just saying, let's not take it so far, even though I love everybody. No offense to anybody, but this shit is going a bit far when you come for cartoon characters on Rice Krispies. Leave Rice Krispies alone. If you come for Tony the Tiger, I'm coming to Kellogg's, buddy. I'm coming to Kellogg's. Don't do that. He's the only manly cartoon we got left. You're not taking that from me.
Nothing is safe these days, man. Nothing is safe, dude.
Man, out of your Falcon mind. I just had to do it.
Agreed.
I mean, my God. I mean, it's just a different world, fellas.
It is
100%.
It's
We don't even got Mr. Potato Head or Mrs. Potato Head no more.
That's what I'm saying.
They're gone.
Everybody. It's no Toys R Us. I try to tell people this, man. You won't never know the feeling of being a child and walking in a soul Toys R Us.
Yes. Insane.
Bites. It's like you died in with that. You would never know that because any store, if it's Target or Walmart, it got a toy section.
Yes,
it's like an aisle or two. You will never know the feeling of you getting a good report card and walking your ass into Graceland. You'll never know what Toys R Us meant to a kid. You never
the best.
You cannot replicate that. You'll never know what a whole store of toys.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It was
game changer. And you go to that video game aisle and you see all those little cards with all the video games. And you play in that video game console where your neck getting broke.
Yeah.
Way up there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh man. You're like, oh dude, I gotta take a break. All right, let's go back.
Let's get it.
Yeah. I mean, you would never know that what Toys R Us meant to us, but it's something sacred, man. I don't want to see Scooby-Doo be something else. Just leave some stuff alone. Just leave some stuff be. We changed enough.
Yep.
I think we've pleased enough people and we've accommodated enough. So let's call it quits with cartoons.
Yes.
It's funny you say that because the newest rendition of Scooby-Doo has Velma as a lesbian. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
They made Velma a lesbian in the newest rendition of Scooby-Doo.
Nothing's safe.
Nothing is safe. I mean, hot, go
Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just,
complaining, but I'm saying, come on, man. Come on, man. Don't take everything from me. Tony the Tiger is sacred, and the dude from the Lucky Charms. I don't want to see the Keebler elves like doing nothing crazy. I don't need the Keebler elves to be.
I think it'd be pretty damn awesome to have a black Keebler elf. I gotta be honest.
Wouldn't it? No, with dreads.
With dreads and a little hat, man. I think that'd be sick.
That'd be pretty funny.
Like on the stomach. Thug life right across the stomach. They'll sell so much.
Dude, that's an Out of Your Falcon Mind T-shirt right
That's
there,
what I'm
dude.
saying.
It
Hey,
really
it
is.
really is. Great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta do that shit. Yeah, definitely have to do that.
But come on,
All
man.
right.
Just leave the cereal alone.
That's right.
Please.
All right, guys. Well, we'll close up shop there, man. Y'all want to put out your socials and how to get in touch with you guys and where to watch you and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Everyone's
most
taken.
definitely. We are the Bolt Bros. We talk Chargers. We've been in love with the Chargers since we've known football. We got plenty of generations of Charger fans throughout all of our, grandpa basically being a season ticket holder with the Chargers back in San Diego. And we've just grown up and loved the Chargers all our life. So bottom line, our socials are, just check us out, Bolt Bros Podcast, Instagram, YouTube. We're on all of the major podcasts out there too. So like, subscribe, follow us. I mean, we follow Out of Your Falcon Mind. We love what you guys do. By the way, Mike, you gave us a shout out on our intro videos, and you were like, man, those are some bomb intro videos. You guys got some pretty good intro videos.
John, I did John that credit. I didn't do that.
Yo, hey, you did a good job, man.
Yeah.
Solid work, man. It works out real well for you guys, man. So bottom line, you guys do great work, man. I love talking with you guys too, man. It's been kind of maybe we'll meet you guys at the Super Bowl and then we can reconnect.
There you go.
And we can do another one of these together. But man,
I say we do some more shows just for the hell of it.
For the draft, man. For the draft, when like the playoffs come, the draft, man, we will. Yes.
Well, that's
That'd
a good idea. 100%.
That'd be great, man. We love to do that. We love to chat about that, man, for sure. So.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun as hell to do. So, but we thanks so much, guys, for coming on with us and recapping. Even though we were on the back, like I said, on the wrong side of it, man. It was what's up? Native. Good to see you. Chargers got so lucky and Marietta's accurate.
Yo, he's the MILF killer though, right? Zach Wilson's accurate in that stage apparently.
Yeah. That one going for him. Yeah.
Crushing
He's
it.
got that going for him.
Yeah. At least, you gotta be good at something, man.
Yeah,
gotta
be good at something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I love it, Barnaby.
Man,
appreciate you joining us, man. Yeah, man. And so, Mike, I guess since we have a game in 2 days, we should probably record a preview probably either tomorrow or sometime on Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll probably do like a shorter version of it because we saw these guys a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
So it's not, there won't be a whole lot of changing really, but we'll definitely talk about what's happened. My stream from Mike's stripper pole room. It's just to the right of him.
It's right behind me, buddy. It's right behind me, buddy.
Yeah. But we'll figure out time and we'll post it on our socials for the preview show. See what fits for us. And but yeah, like I said, Bolt Bros, man, thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
guys, if you're watching the video again, make sure you hit that like button. It helps us out tremendously. Subscribe to the channel. Tell all your Falcons friends and family to come check us out. We're here every week, twice a week during the season, giving you a preview and a recap show. And like we just talked about, we do stuff in the off season for the draft. And if we're not in the playoffs, we'll probably still come on and talk about the playoffs because it's still football and we want to talk about it. And again, I know for a fact we're going to be doing some more stuff with these guys in the future because we just have a blast doing it. And yeah, man. So again, we appreciate you guys for joining us. You can follow us as always, Out of Your Effing Mind on Twitter and on Instagram, Out of Your Falcon Mind. You can like the Facebook page. We are actually, Mike, for the first time, we're recording live on Facebook tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did that for the first time. Yeah.
I did not know. This is why John is underrated. Just another. I don't understand any of it. John is a technical guy. You gotta love him.
Well, only slightly. Look who checked in.
Hey, that's my mom. Mom, I love you. My mom is in the chat. I don't even. Mom, how did you know about the chat? Man, I don't even know how to get in the chat. So how did you know how to get in the chat? This is unreal. My mom is in the chat.
Love it. Love it. Showing that support.
I love you, Mom.
The native says Falcons are making the playoffs because Tommy divorced is washed. I mean, let's hope.
I love it because I hate them.
The Rams should have did their business on Sunday, but oh well. Anyway, guys, we had a blast, man. We'll get out of here and let everybody go do their thing. And Mike, we'll be back probably tomorrow, I guess.
Cool.
More than likely. But
shout out to Cal. Shout out to my mom and Arthur Smith. I'm coming for you, buddy. Out of your Falcon.
Get him.
Yeah, much love, guys. We'll catch you all tomorrow.
Have a great season, guys.
Peace.
See you guys.